Is it true that all hybrid publishers are scammers out to take advantage of authors? This is a really tricky part of the industry, so I'm going to break it down for you and let you know what a hybrid publisher is and isn't, and what you need to consider before working with one to protect yourself and your book. For my new viewers, this is my weekly Ask Alyssa Anything session, where I pull out questions from the comments and answer them to help you along your writing and publishing journey, and get you one step closer to seeing your book on the shelf. Here's the question today. Hi, I find your videos very informative, thank you. I hope you can address my question in a future video. I am interested in self-publishing for many reasons, but I'm really not tech savvy, and therefore learning how to lay out my book will be very difficult for me, as well as marketing, because I'm not savvy with online marketing either. So my question is, are all hybrid presses bad? Are they all scams? I think I would greatly benefit from help with the layout and marketing that hybrid publishing offers. In many ways, it makes more sense for me to invest some money to get help with bringing my book to publication, rather than breaking my teeth and countless hours trying to figure out the process myself. Thank you. Let's tackle this first by defining what a hybrid publisher is. A hybrid publisher is a company that combines elements of traditional and self-publishing, where the author pays for some or all of the publishing costs, but all of the editing, design, marketing, etc. is fulfilled by the publisher rather than by the individual. In these contracts, a hybrid publisher will usually offer a higher percentage of royalties than a traditional publisher would. The problem with hybrid publishing is that many of these companies charge exorbitant fees for services that are lower quality than advertised. In many cases, they don't offer the author much more than they could get just self-publishing the book on their own. Back in 2022, I did a video breaking down a report that came out on hybrid publishing from the Society of Authors and Writers Guild of Great Britain, which was titled, "Is It a Steal? An Investigation into Hybrid Paid-for Publishing Services." I will link that video in the description for you to check it out, but essentially of all the authors surveyed, the majority of them did not feel that the services offered by these hybrid publishers measured up to the fees they were required to pay. Another issue with hybrid publishers is that they may be presenting themselves as a traditional publisher, but then bait and switch you when they say that they require fees to publish, which a traditional publisher does not. Some of these hybrid publishers want you to think that they're operating as a small or indie press that is still operating under the traditional publishing model, but then they ask you to pay a lot of money, which can be confusing to an author and really break that trust. Hybrid publishers are also sometimes considered vanity presses, which is a term used to describe a so-called publisher who essentially helps you create a few copies of your book for a large amount of money, but does very little to promote or distribute it. Essentially, the idea of a vanity press is that you are paying just so you can say that you published a book and have a few copies. All of that being said, for some authors, the hybrid publishing model makes sense, especially if you don't have the time to learn all of the mechanics of self-publishing. If you find a highly reputable hybrid publisher and their services suit what you are looking for and their fees are reasonable, then it could be a viable option for you. But you will have to do a ton of research and make sure you are tiptoeing before diving headfirst into working with one. Make sure you are extremely cautious before going forward and that you thoroughly vet this company before sending them any money so you fully understand what you are getting out of the arrangement and you feel confident they are supplying you with what you need. The Authors Guild, which is a US-based organization, released a statement in response to the hybrid publishing report that I mentioned earlier. They mentioned that there are some reputable hybrid publishers in the US and outlined steps that any author should take before working with one. Here's how authors who are considering hybrid publishers can protect themselves. 1, send in your contract to the Authors Guild or the Society of Authors if you're in the UK. Ask members of your writing community for their experiences or post any questions or concerns in the Authors Guild members community. Consult the Independent Book Publishers Association's hybrid publisher criteria, which defines standards you can use to distinguish between a reputable hybrid publisher and a predatory one. A hybrid publisher must exercise editorial selectivity, provide certain services, and pay authors higher than standard royalties. You should be wary of any publisher calling itself hybrid that cannot demonstrate such a track record. Understand all of your publishing costs and what services your publisher will provide for you, and ensure you have a contract that backs them up. How will the publisher help you aside from printing? If they are promising marketing or other services, get specifics in writing in your contract. What guarantees do you have, if any? Research the publisher's track record, ask questions, then make an informed decision based on what you wish to gain from the publication. I'm also going to briefly read through those criteria that the Independent Book Publishers Association put together for reputable hybrid publishers. A hybrid publisher must define a mission and vision for its publishing program, vet submissions, commit to truth and transparency in business practices, provide a negotiable, easy-to-understand contract for each book published, publish under its own imprints and ISBNs, publish to industry standards, ensure editorial design and production quality, pursue and manage a range of publishing rights, provide distribution services, demonstrate respectable sales, and pay authors a higher than standard royalty. I hope this helped demystify hybrid publishing and the scams that proliferate in this space so that you can determine the right publishing path for you. If you have a question you'd like to ask, drop it in the comments here and it will be added to my queue for my next session. If you're currently stuck with your work in progress, check out my free resource in the description. It's called My Story Self-Assessment Worksheet. It's a quiz I designed to help you see your book in a new light and identify how you can take it to the next level. It's also going to opt you into my newsletter, Chapter Break, where I'm dishing out exclusive interviews with literary agents and best-selling authors. They're giving some amazing advice I don't want you to miss. The link to check out Chapter Break is also in the description. Before you head out, give me a thumbs up if you'd like me to keep doing these Q&As, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on my next one. Thanks so much for watching, and happy writing.